Good day, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about something crucial: forcing yourself to get it done. We all have dreams, aspirations, and goals, but many times we find ourselves stuck in the cycle of planning without action, thinking without execution, or wanting without doing. It's easy to get caught in the trap of "I'll do it later," but what happens when later never comes? Let's start with this truth: purpose is power. If you know why you're doing something, the how becomes easier. When you clearly define your purpose, it becomes a driving force. But simply knowing your purpose isn't enough. You must take action. Purpose must lead to movement. Your dreams won't materialize while you sit idly by. But here's the thing: action isn't always easy. In fact, often action requires discipline. Motivation can be fleeting, but discipline will carry you when motivation fades. Think about it. How many times have you felt inspired in the moment, only to see that inspiration vanish as soon as life gets in the way? Discipline is about doing it anyway when you don't feel like it, when it's tough, when the obstacles seem too big. That's the moment you must act. Procrastination is one of the greatest enemies to success. You cannot afford to wait for the perfect moment, because trust me, the perfect moment may never come. Instead of waiting, make progress, even if it's small. Every step you take, no matter how small, propels you forward. If you wait for motivation to strike, you may wait forever. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Success is built not by grand, occasional efforts, but by small, consistent actions. Every day you do a little, every day you take a step. Soon, those steps will add up to something much bigger. Now, in the process of getting things done, mindset is everything. Your thoughts create your reality. If you think you can't do it, you're right. If you think you can, you're also right. A positive, growth-oriented mindset allows you to break through barriers. You must push past negative thoughts, those doubts that whisper you're not good enough. You have to silence them and keep moving forward. Excellence doesn't mean being perfect. It means putting in your best effort no matter the circumstances. Excellence is about doing your very best even when no one is looking, even when the task seems too small or unimportant. Commit to excellence in everything you do. And yes, there will be discomfort. If you're comfortable all the time, you're probably not growing. Growth happens in discomfort. If you want to develop, you must challenge yourself, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace the challenge you face. It all comes down to personal responsibility. You alone are responsible for your success. No one else can walk your journey for you. The path you take is yours to create, and the actions you take today will determine your tomorrow. I urge you to focus on the goal, not the struggle. Every challenge you face is a step toward the ultimate goal. The struggle is temporary, but the reward is lasting. If you stay focused on the result, you will find the strength to push through. Remember that action is the key. It's not enough to dream or plan. Your future is shaped by the actions you take today, not by what you hope to do someday. The moment you choose to act, you begin to unlock your true potential. So today, right now, take action. Force yourself to get it done. The power to shape your future is in your hands, and it starts with the decision to move forward. Let nothing stop you. Purpose is the driving force behind everything we do. It is the internal fuel that propels us forward even when external circumstances seem bleak. Without a clear sense of purpose, we can easily become distracted, unmotivated, and lost in the daily grind. But when we know why we are doing something, whether it's pursuing a career, building a family, or working toward a personal goal, we tap into a deeper well of strength. Purpose gives us direction and clarity. It acts like a compass, ensuring that we stay on track, even when obstacles arise. When your purpose is clear, the path ahead becomes much more manageable. The challenges that seem insurmountable at first become mere stepping stones, because you know exactly where you're going and why it matters. Purpose helps us overcome the inevitable doubts and fears that accompany any major endeavor. It's easy to question ourselves and second-guess our decisions, but a strong sense of purpose serves as a reminder that every step we take is aligned with something greater than ourselves. Think about the greatest leaders, innovators, and change makers throughout history. What set them apart wasn't necessarily their talent or resources, but their unwavering sense of purpose. They had a vision that drove them beyond the limitations of their current circumstances. It was their purpose that helped them endure setbacks and persist when others would have given up. It's not the lack of challenges that makes people successful, but their ability to keep going despite the challenges. Purpose also has the power to influence others. When we act with clear intention and focus, others are naturally drawn to our vision. People want to be part of something meaningful, and a person who is deeply rooted in their purpose exudes a magnetic energy that attracts support, collaboration, and opportunities. A sense of purpose creates a ripple effect, inspiring those around us to tap into their own potential and align their actions with their deepest convictions. In life, we often get distracted by things that seem urgent but are not truly important. Purpose helps us discern the difference between what's worth our time and what's merely a distraction. It's a constant reminder that our time and energy are valuable and that we should spend them on pursuits that are aligned with our true values and goals. When you know your purpose, the everyday noise fades away and you are left with the clarity to make choices that are in line with the legacy you wish to leave behind. Purpose is power because it's the catalyst for growth, resilience, and success. It gives us the courage to take risks, the strength to overcome failures, and the wisdom to know that everything we do is leading us to something greater than ourselves. When you have a strong purpose, you don't need to wait for motivation to strike. You don't need to be told what to do. Your purpose drives you forward. And it's the power that will help you achieve whatever you set your mind to. Self-discipline is the foundation of success, and it is the ability to consistently pursue what we know is right, regardless of emotional state, external circumstances, or fleeting desires. It is not just about denying ourselves pleasure or convenience, but about creating habits that align with our values and long-term goals. While motivation can be powerful in the short term, it is self-discipline that sustains us through the ups and downs of life. It's the practice of doing what needs to be done, even when we don't feel like it, and making the right decisions, even when they are difficult. In a world that encourages instant gratification and the pursuit of short-term pleasures, self-discipline is the antidote. It teaches us to resist the temptation of procrastination and to avoid distractions that hinder our progress. The power of self-discipline lies in its ability to help us stay focused on what truly matters, even when the path is challenging. It's easy to put off important tasks when we don't feel like doing them, but true success comes from the ability to push through those moments of discomfort and take consistent, deliberate action. At its core, self-discipline is about personal responsibility. It means acknowledging that the outcomes of our lives are largely determined by the choices we make, and committing to making those choices with intention. It's about taking ownership of our actions, thoughts, and time. Self-discipline ensures that we remain committed to our goals, even when the initial excitement fades and the reality of hard work sets in. The beauty of self-discipline is that it is a muscle, one that grows stronger the more we exercise it. Each small act of discipline, whether it's waking up early, sticking to a plan, or resisting temptation, adds up over time and builds momentum. Just like any other skill, self-discipline requires practice, patience, and perseverance. The more we commit to making disciplined choices, the more natural they become. And the easier it is to maintain that discipline even in the face of adversity. Self-discipline also has a profound impact on our mindset. When we consistently practice discipline, we develop a sense of self-respect and confidence. Every time we choose the harder, right path instead of the easier, wrong one, we reinforce the belief that we are capable of achieving our goals. Over time, this leads to a deep sense of accomplishment and satisfaction because we know that our progress is a result of our own effort and determination. It empowers us to rise above challenges and setbacks because we understand that success is not determined by how many times we fail, but by how many times we get back up and keep moving forward. The true power of self-discipline is that it doesn't just shape our actions, it shapes our future. It helps us build habits that create lasting change, rather than relying on momentary bursts of willpower. The ability to stay committed to our purpose, to remain consistent in our actions, and to keep our eyes on the prize, even when the journey gets tough, creates a life of meaning, achievement, and fulfillment. Every moment we practice self-discipline, we are shaping our destiny, building the future we desire, and laying the groundwork for success in every area of life. Overcoming procrastination is one of the most significant challenges we face on the road to achieving our goals. It's that sneaky habit that convinces us to delay what we know we need to do, often under the illusion that we'll do it later, when the time is right or when we feel more motivated. The truth, however, is that waiting for the perfect moment is a trap. Procrastination feeds off of our fear, our doubt, and our tendency to prioritize short-term comfort over long-term success. It keeps us stuck in a cycle of unfulfilled potential, robbing us of the progress we're capable of. To overcome procrastination, we must first acknowledge its root causes. Often, it's not a matter of laziness or a lack of ability, but rather a fear of failure, a fear of not being perfect, or simply feeling overwhelmed by the size of the task at hand. We look at the work we need to do and feel paralyzed by its scope, so we avoid it. But the truth is, avoiding the task doesn't make it go away. It only creates more anxiety, which in turn leads to more avoidance. The longer we put something off, the bigger it looms in our minds, making it seem even more daunting than it actually is. The key to breaking this cycle is to start to take that first step, no matter how small. Action creates momentum, and momentum eventually makes even the most overwhelming task manageable. The act of beginning, no matter how imperfectly, is often the hardest part. But once we commit to taking that first step, we find that the task doesn't seem nearly as insurmountable as it once did. We learn that our fear of failure or making mistakes is often far greater than the reality. In fact, when we break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks, we begin to see that the work is more achievable than we first imagined. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything we have to do, we can focus on the next step, which makes the whole process much less intimidating. Another powerful strategy for overcoming procrastination is the realization that perfection is not required. We often delay starting something because we want it to be perfect from the outset. This fear of imperfection keeps us from even trying. But perfectionism is a barrier, not a standard to live by. Progress over perfection is the mindset shift we need. It's better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing at all. Perfection is an illusion, and it's often the fear of not being perfect that prevents us from moving forward. Embrace the fact that mistakes are part of the process and that progress, even if small, is still progress. Another key to overcoming procrastination is creating structure and routine. When we establish clear, regular habits, we reduce the chances of putting things off. Routine helps us eliminate the need for decision-making every time we face a task. The less we have to think about whether or not we should do something, the easier it becomes to do it. When a task becomes part of our daily rhythm, it no longer feels like an obstacle but a natural part of our day. By scheduling time for focused work, prioritizing tasks, and breaking them into smaller, actionable steps, we create a path that leads directly to completion. Accountability is also a powerful tool in overcoming procrastination. When we share our goals with someone else, we increase the pressure to follow through. Whether it's a colleague, a mentor, or a friend, having someone check in on our progress can help keep us on track. The simple act of telling someone that we will complete a task by a certain time adds a layer of external motivation that can push us to stop procrastinating and take action. Perhaps most importantly, overcoming procrastination requires a shift in mindset. We need to view tasks not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth and progress. The more we reframe our thinking about the work we need to do, the less resistance we will feel toward it. Instead of dreading the task, we can look at it as a challenge, a chance to learn, to grow, and to move closer to our goals. Procrastination thrives on avoidance, but when we face the work head-on, we often find that it isn't nearly as difficult as we anticipated. When we approach tasks with a sense of purpose and focus, they lose their power to overwhelm us. The act of beginning, no matter how imperfectly, is often the hardest part. But once we commit to taking that first step, we find that the task doesn't seem nearly as insurmountable as it once did. We learn that our fear of failure or making mistakes is often far greater than the reality. In fact, when we break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks, we begin to see that the work is more achievable than we first imagined. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything we have to do, we can focus on the next step, which makes the whole process much less intimidating. Another powerful strategy for overcoming procrastination is the realization that perfection is not required. We often delay starting something because we want it to be perfect from the outset. This fear of imperfection keeps us from even trying. But perfectionism is a barrier, not a standard to live by. Progress over perfection is the mindset shift we need. It's better to do something imperfectly than to do nothing at all. Perfection is an illusion, and it's often the fear of not being perfect that prevents us from moving forward. Embrace the fact that mistakes are part of the process and that progress, even if small, is still progress. Another key to overcoming procrastination is creating structure and routine. When we establish clear, regular habits, we reduce the chances of putting things off. Routine helps us eliminate the need for decision-making every time we face a task. The less we have to think about whether or not we should do something, the easier it becomes to do it. When a task becomes part of our daily rhythm, it no longer feels like an obstacle but a natural part of our day. By scheduling time for focused work, prioritizing tasks, and breaking them into smaller, actionable steps, we create a path that leads directly to completion. Accountability is also a powerful tool in overcoming procrastination. When we share our goals with someone else, we increase the pressure to follow through. Whether it's a colleague, a mentor, or a friend, having someone check in on our progress can help keep us on track. The simple act of telling someone that we will complete a task by a certain time adds a layer of external motivation that can push us to stop procrastinating and take action. Perhaps most importantly, overcoming procrastination requires a shift in mindset. We need to view tasks not as burdens but as opportunities for growth and progress. The more we reframe our thinking about the work we need to do, the less resistance we will feel toward it. Instead of dreading the task, we can look at it as a challenge, a chance to learn, to grow, and to move closer to our goals. Procrastination thrives on avoidance, but when we face the work head-on, we often find that it isn't nearly as difficult as we anticipated. When we approach tasks with a sense of purpose and focus, they lose their power to overwhelm us. The journey to overcoming procrastination is not about being perfect in our productivity. It's about creating consistent momentum and choosing action over avoidance. It's about breaking the cycle of delay and learning to embrace the discomfort of starting, knowing that the progress we make, no matter how small, is one step closer to achieving our vision. The more we practice taking action, the easier it becomes to defeat procrastination, and the more empowered we feel in our ability to shape our future. The key is not to wait for the perfect moment, but to act now in the present and let momentum carry us forward. Consistency is the cornerstone of progress, the silent force that moves us toward our goals, one step at a time. It's easy to be motivated by a burst of enthusiasm at the start of a new project or endeavor. We all feel excited and energized in the beginning, but what truly makes the difference over time is our ability to continue even when the initial excitement fades. Consistency is about committing to the process day in and day out, regardless of how we feel or how many challenges arise along the way. It's not about making big, dramatic leaps. It's about making small, steady steps that over time lead to great results. Often we underestimate the power of consistent incremental progress. We live in a world that celebrates quick fixes, shortcuts, and overnight success stories. But the truth is that the most enduring achievements are built on consistency. When we look at successful people, whether they're athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists, what stands out is not just their talent, but their ability to stay consistent with their effort. Success rarely happens in a single grand moment of achievement. It's the result of ongoing dedication, persistence, and the willingness to show up, even when things get difficult or progress seems slow. Being consistent requires a mindset shift. It's about focusing on the process rather than the outcome. It's easy to become discouraged when we don't see immediate results, but consistency is about trusting that small actions, when repeated over time, will yield big results. The journey may not always be exciting, and progress may not always be visible, but consistency builds the foundation for long-term success. It's about developing habits that serve us, even when motivation isn't present, and pushing through the days when we don't feel like doing the work. Each effort, no matter how small, compounds over time and eventually adds up to something much greater than the sum of its parts. Consistency is also a matter of discipline. It's about making the decision to act, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. It means sticking to the plan, even when we don't feel like it, and continuing the work even when there's no immediate reward or recognition. Discipline helps us stay focused on our goals despite distractions, setbacks, or the natural ebbs and flows of motivation. It's about creating systems that make it easier to keep going, even when our emotions are telling us to stop or take a break. The more we cultivate consistency, the more natural it becomes. What once felt like a struggle eventually becomes part of our routine. The beauty of consistency is that it creates momentum. When we keep taking small steps, even on the days when it feels like we're not getting anywhere, we start to build momentum that makes the journey easier. Momentum is a powerful force that propels us forward, making it harder to stop than to keep going. Once we establish a habit of consistent action, it becomes a part of who we are, and the results follow almost naturally. Momentum helps us push through the hard days because we're no longer relying on fleeting motivation or willpower. We're relying on the rhythm we've built and the habit we've created. Of course, consistency doesn't mean rigidity. Life will always throw curveballs and things don't always go as planned. But being consistent also means being flexible within your routine, adjusting as needed and finding ways to keep going, even when circumstances change. It's about the commitment to show up no matter what, and to continue the work even when the road gets tough or the results don't come as quickly as we'd like. Consistency is about trust in the process, trust in the effort, and trust in yourself. It's about knowing that if you keep showing up, keep doing the work, and keep taking those small steps forward, the results will follow. It might take time, but every day of consistent effort is a step closer to your goal. Success, fulfillment, and achievement are not reserved for those who can work the hardest in short bursts, but for those who can commit to steady, consistent progress over the long haul. It's the power of consistency that turns dreams into reality, one day at a time. Mindset is the lens through which we view the world, and it shapes every experience, decision, and action we take. It's more than just how we think, it's how we approach challenges, opportunities, and our potential. Our mindset determines whether we see obstacles as insurmountable roadblocks or as temporary challenges to be overcome. It's the foundation for everything we do, because how we think directly influences how we act and ultimately the outcomes we achieve. A positive and growth-oriented mindset has the power to transform not only the way we approach tasks, but also the way we view our own capabilities and potential. The way we think about ourselves and our abilities can either limit or expand our opportunities. If we have a fixed mindset, one that believes our talents and abilities are set in stone, we are less likely to take risks, try new things, or put in the effort required to improve. We might believe that if something doesn't come easily, it's not meant for us, or that failure means we are not good enough. On the other hand, a growth mindset, the belief that our abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence opens up endless possibilities. When we adopt a growth mindset, we become more willing to face challenges, learn from mistakes, and persist through difficulty, knowing that each experience is a stepping stone toward growth. Mindset affects not only our approach to external challenges, but also our internal dialogue. The way we talk to ourselves shapes our confidence and self-esteem. Negative self-talk can paralyze us, making us second-guess our abilities and hesitate before taking action. On the other hand, a positive mindset empowers us to take bold steps forward, knowing that setbacks are a natural part of the journey, not signs of failure. By choosing to reframe our thoughts and focus on possibilities rather than limitations, we can shift our entire approach to life. It's important to recognize that while we can't always control the circumstances around us, we have complete control over how we respond to those circumstances. With the right mindset, challenges become opportunities for growth, and failure becomes a valuable lesson, not an end. A mindset rooted in possibility doesn't just help us handle adversity more effectively, it also motivates us to take action. People with a positive mindset don't wait for things to happen to them, they take initiative. They understand that they are the creators of their own success. and that their actions today will shape their future. When you believe in your ability to grow and succeed, you are more likely to take the necessary steps, even when the path is uncertain. A person with the right mindset is not deterred by temporary setbacks or failures because they know that those challenges are simply part of the process of becoming better, stronger, and more capable. Mindset affects our relationships with others. When we adopt a mindset of collaboration, empathy, and positivity, we create an environment that fosters trust and mutual respect. People are naturally drawn to those who have a positive outlook because it's inspiring and contagious. A positive mindset not only helps us maintain our own emotional resilience, but also allows us to uplift and motivate those around us. When we approach life with an optimistic, can-do attitude, we create opportunities for growth, not just for ourselves, but for everyone we interact with. It builds a network of support and connection that accelerates progress and success. Mindset is the deciding factor in whether we will succeed or give up when challenges arise. It's easy to quit when things don't go as planned or when the road becomes difficult. But those who cultivate a growth mindset are more likely to persist through adversity. A positive mindset fuels resilience, determination, and perseverance. It allows us to bounce back from failure, to keep pushing forward even when progress is slow, and to trust that the effort we put in will eventually yield results. With the right mindset, we can break through any barriers, overcome any challenge, and unlock our true potential. Our mindset shapes our reality. It determines whether we see ourselves as capable of achieving our goals or as limited by our circumstances. The mind is a powerful tool, and when we choose to nurture a mindset of growth, possibility, and resilience, we set ourselves up for success. The challenges we face will still be there, but with the right mindset, we can face them head on, confident in our ability to grow, learn, and ultimately succeed. The power of mindset is not in how we think in moments of comfort, but in how we respond when faced with adversity. It is our mindset that will determine whether we rise or fall, whether we persist or quit, and whether we ultimately reach the heights of our potential. Commitment to excellence is the unwavering determination to continuously strive for the highest standard in everything we do. It's the mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity, that insists on pushing past the minimum required and always seeking ways to improve. Excellence isn't about being perfect, it's about consistently giving your best, whether in big or small tasks, and holding yourself accountable to the highest level of performance. It's not a one-time achievement, but a lifelong pursuit. It's about the process, the discipline, and the relentless drive to raise the bar higher, day after day. To commit to excellence means taking ownership of our actions and results, regardless of external circumstances or challenge. Yes, it means being dedicated to the work, even when no one is watching, and maintaining high standards even in situations where the pressure may be low. True excellence comes from within, from the decision to do things the right way, not because you expect to be praised or rewarded, but because you value the process of doing things at the highest level. When we commit to excellence, we set a standard for ourselves and for those around us. We don't just strive to meet expectations, but to exceed them, ensuring that everything we do reflects our best effort. Excellence is built through consistency. It's not about the occasional burst of brilliance or effort, but the steady, disciplined pursuit of quality over time. Anyone can be excellent once or twice, but it takes a deep commitment to excellence to maintain that level of quality consistently. It means showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, and even when the rewards are not immediately apparent. When you are committed to excellence, you create habits and routines that support your highest standards, ensuring that no matter what the task, it will always be done to the best of your ability. Excellence also involves a continual process of growth and improvement. It means understanding that we are never truly finished learning. It's about constantly looking for opportunities to expand our knowledge, sharpen our skills, and refine our approach. Those who are committed to excellence understand that there is always room for improvement, no matter how accomplished they are. It's a mindset that embraces challenges as opportunities to grow, to refine, and to become even better. Excellence is not static, it's dynamic, always evolving, and always reaching for new heights. In order to achieve excellence, we must also embrace the power of discipline and focus. Excellence doesn't happen by accident. It's a result of hard work, careful planning, and a strong commitment to the task at hand. It means putting in the effort when the excitement has faded and staying focused on the long-term goal, even when short-term distractions arise. Discipline keeps us on track, even when the path is difficult or the outcome is uncertain. When we commit to excellence, we understand that success is not about quick wins, but about consistently making decisions that align with our standards and our values. Commitment to excellence requires resilience and perseverance. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and failures along the way, but those who are committed to excellence don't let these moments define them. Instead, they view challenges as part of the process, as essential lessons that will ultimately make them better. Excellence requires the ability to bounce back from failure, to learn from mistakes, and to keep moving forward with renewed determination. Every setback is an opportunity to refine our approach and to learn something new that brings us closer to the highest standard we set for ourselves. A commitment to excellence also extends beyond individual achievement. When we choose to live and work with excellence, we inspire those around us to do the same. Excellence becomes contagious. It creates an environment of high standards where others are motivated to push their own limits and where collaboration thrives because everyone is striving to bring their best to the table. The pursuit of excellence fosters a culture of growth, innovation, and continuous improvement, helping not only individuals but entire organizations or communities reach new levels of success. Commitment to excellence is about taking pride in the work we do, no matter how big or small, and ensuring that every action we take aligns with our deepest values and highest standards. It's about creating a legacy of quality and integrity that speaks for itself. Excellence isn't just something we do, it's who we become when we are determined to give our best, to improve constantly, and to never settle for less than the best we can offer. It's about making every moment, every task, and every effort count, because when we commit to excellence, we set ourselves up for lasting success, fulfillment, and achievement. Embracing discomfort is one of the most transformative and essential practices for personal growth and achievement. In a world where convenience and comfort are often prioritized, the idea of seeking out discomfort can seem counterintuitive, even undesirable. However, discomfort is the very catalyst for change. It is through discomfort that we break free from the limitations of our current self and reach new heights. The process of growth is not always easy. In fact, it is rarely comfortable. But it is precisely in those moments of discomfort that we learn, adapt, and evolve. Discomfort often arises when we are stretched beyond our current abilities, beliefs, or understanding. It's a sign that we are moving into new territory, that we are on the verge of growth. When we resist discomfort, we resist progress. Whether it's pushing ourselves physically, mentally, or emotionally, discomfort signals that we are challenging ourselves to go beyond what we have known, to stretch our boundaries and increase our capacity. It is in those moments when we feel unsure or uneasy that we are truly on the path to personal transformation. The fear of discomfort often holds people back. Many choose the path of least resistance, avoiding situations that require effort, vulnerability, or persistence. But this avoidance keeps us stuck, trapped in the same patterns, unable to break free and reach our full potential. Comfort zones, while familiar and safe, are also limiting. They offer short-term peace but long-term stagnation. True growth happens outside of those boundaries, in the discomfort zone where we are forced to adapt, learn new skills, and rise above our current limitations. When we embrace discomfort, we also learn resilience. Life is full of challenges and setbacks, but those who embrace discomfort view these moments not as barriers, but as opportunities to build strength. Every time we face something uncomfortable, we develop the mental and emotional fortitude needed to persevere. Discomfort teaches us how to handle adversity, to remain steady and focused even when the path ahead is uncertain. The more we push through difficult situations, the more resilient we become, and the more capable we are of handling even greater challenges in the future. There is also a deep sense of satisfaction and fulfillment that comes from embracing discomfort. When we overcome something that once seemed too difficult or uncomfortable, we experience a sense of accomplishment that cannot be replicated by anything easy. The struggle, the effort, and the discomfort are what make the victory sweet. It is the process of pushing through discomfort that builds our confidence and self-belief. We prove to ourselves that we are capable of more than we thought, and this realization fuels further growth and ambition. Embracing discomfort allows us to become more adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and things don't always go as planned. When we become accustomed to stepping into discomfort, we build the flexibility to handle change and uncertainty. We stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as opportunities to adjust, learn, and grow. Discomfort teaches us to be comfortable with the unknown, to trust that we have the ability to navigate even the most unfamiliar circumstances. It expands our capacity to think on our feet, to problem solve, and to find solutions even when things seem difficult or overwhelming. Sometimes embracing discomfort means choosing to face our fears. Fear often holds us back from pursuing our dreams and stepping into new opportunities. Whether it's fear of failure, rejection, or the unknown, these fears are often rooted in discomfort. But when we confront those fears directly, when we step into the unknown, we gain confidence in our ability to navigate uncertainty. By embracing discomfort, we dismantle the power that fear has over us, replacing it with courage, confidence, and the belief that we can handle whatever comes our way. The growth that comes from embracing discomfort is not always immediate, but over time it compounds. Each time we face a difficult situation, we become stronger, wiser, and more equipped for the next challenge. It's through repeated experiences of discomfort that we develop mastery, whether in our careers, relationships, or personal lives. These experiences expand our capacity to handle complexity, to think critically, and to act decisively in the face of uncertainty. Embracing discomfort is not about seeking pain or struggle for the sake of it, but about understanding that true growth and transformation happen when we challenge ourselves. Discomfort is the vehicle that drives us toward our potential. It's a necessary part of the journey toward becoming the best version of ourselves. By leaning into discomfort, we step out of the familiar and into the realm of possibility where growth, opportunity, and achievement reside. The more we embrace discomfort, the more we open ourselves up to a life of greater fulfillment, success, and true personal power. Personal responsibility is the cornerstone of a life filled with purpose, fulfillment, and success. It is a recognition that our actions, choices, and decisions are entirely within our control, and that we alone are accountable for the outcomes we experience. Taking personal responsibility means accepting ownership of both our successes and failures, and understanding that no one else is to blame for where we find ourselves in life. It is the willingness to take charge of our own life and not wait for circumstances, other people, or external events to change before we take action. Personal responsibility is the foundation upon which we build our self-respect and the trust others place in us. At its core, personal responsibility is about making choices that align with our values, goals, and aspirations, and accepting the consequences of those choices. It means being conscious of the decisions we make daily and understanding that those decisions shape our future. Each action we take, no matter how small, contributes to the larger picture of our life. By acknowledging that our choices matter, we empower ourselves to create the life we want, rather than passively letting life unfold. When we take responsibility for ourselves, we no longer place blame on others or circumstances. Instead, we realize that we have the power to create change by taking intentional action. When we choose personal responsibility, we also embrace accountability. We no longer make excuses for our shortcomings or allow ourselves to be victims of external circumstances. It's easy to blame others for our problems, but true personal growth begins when we stop pointing fingers and start looking inward. Accountability means acknowledging where we could have done better and committing to improve. It's the understanding that regardless of what happens around us, we are the ones who ultimately control how we respond. In doing so, we build the strength to overcome obstacles, learn from our mistakes, and continuously strive to become the best version of ourselves. Personal responsibility also requires discipline and self-regulation. It's easy to act impulsively or let emotions dictate our choices, but when we take responsibility, we learn to pause and think before we act. We become intentional with our time, energy, and resources, making decisions that serve our long-term goals rather than seeking instant gratification. Discipline is what keeps us on track when motivation wanes, and it helps us stay committed to the actions that will lead to success. The commitment to personal responsibility means developing the ability to consistently make choices that are in alignment with our values and goals. even when the path is difficult or the temptation to veer off course is strong. Personal responsibility means being proactive rather than reactive. It's about taking control of situations rather than waiting for someone else to act. When we take personal responsibility, we stop waiting for permission or for the perfect conditions to act. We learn to create opportunities rather than waiting for them to appear. This proactive mindset helps us break free from the cycle of waiting and starts us on the path of consistent action. Rather than allowing life to happen to us, we choose to take the reins and make things happen for ourselves. This is the key to transforming aspirations into achievements. One of the most powerful aspects of personal responsibility is the ability to learn and grow from our mistakes. No one is perfect, and we will inevitably face failure or make poor decisions along the way. However, when we take personal responsibility, we use these experiences as opportunities to learn and improve. Rather than avoiding mistakes or pretending they didn't happen, we face them head on, reflect on what went wrong, and commit to making better choices in the future. This ability to learn from mistakes and apply those lessons is what ultimately leads to greater wisdom and success. We stop seeing failures as a reflection of our worth and instead view them as stepping stones toward personal development. Personal responsibility is key to building trust with others. When we consistently take responsibility for our actions, others begin to rely on us because they know we will own up to our commitments. People trust those who take responsibility and deliver on their promises. It strengthens relationships and fosters a sense of integrity. When we take responsibility, we also become more reliable, not just to others, but to ourselves. We build confidence in our ability to handle whatever life throws our way, knowing that we are capable of rising to the occasion. Personal responsibility is also essential to our overall well-being. It encourages us to take care of our physical, mental, and emotional health because we understand that we are in charge of our own wellness. We are responsible for nourishing our bodies, managing stress, and maintaining healthy relationships. We realize that no one else can do this for us, and the choices we make daily affect our health and happiness. This sense of ownership extends to all areas of our life, from career to relationships to personal growth. Personal responsibility is the key to creating a life of integrity, purpose, and fulfillment. It's about recognizing that we have the power to shape our lives through the choices we make. By taking responsibility for our actions, accepting accountability, and being proactive, we unlock our full potential. We create a life that reflects our values and aspirations, and we move forward with confidence, knowing that we are in control of our destiny. The moment we choose to embrace personal responsibility is the moment we begin to take control of our lives and unlock the limitless possibilities that await us. Focusing on the goal rather than the struggle is a powerful mindset shift that can significantly impact our ability to achieve success. The journey to reaching a goal is rarely smooth or easy. It is often filled with obstacles, setbacks, and challenges that can feel overwhelming. However, when we shift our focus away from the struggles we face and keep our eyes firmly on the goal, we build resilience, maintain motivation, and enhance our ability to persevere through difficult times. The struggle is inevitable. Whether it's learning a new skill, pursuing a long-term project, or working toward personal growth, obstacles will arise. The key is not to get consumed by the difficulty of the situation, but to remember why we started in the first place. When we focus solely on the challenges, we risk becoming discouraged and losing sight of the end goal. The struggle can cloud our judgment, make us question our abilities, and lead to unnecessary frustration. But when we keep the goal in view, we are reminded of what we are working toward, which keeps us grounded and determined. By focusing on the goal, we remind ourselves of the bigger picture. The obstacles we encounter along the way are temporary, but the accomplishment of the goal holds lasting value. When we look at the struggle through the lens of progress, we see it not as an insurmountable roadblock, but as a necessary part of the process. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to learn, grow, and get closer to the finish line. Instead of dwelling on how hard things are, we can reframe our thinking and view the struggle as the process that makes success meaningful and worth achieving. Focusing on the goal also helps us avoid the trap of negativity. It's easy to become overwhelmed by the difficulties we face and to let those feelings of frustration cloud our progress. When we concentrate on the goal, we shift our mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. We stop seeing the struggle as an end in itself and start viewing it as a stepping stone. This positive focus enables us to maintain our energy and optimism even in the face of adversity. It helps us keep moving forward with purpose, knowing that the challenge is temporary and that perseverance will ultimately lead to success. Focusing on the goal helps us maintain clarity and direction. Life is filled with distractions and interruptions that can easily pull us off course. Without a clear focus on the goal, we can easily become sidetracked or discouraged by the daily struggles we encounter. But when we stay focused on the end result, we create a sense of urgency and determination. Each task, no matter how small, becomes part of a larger, meaningful effort. This laser-like focus prevents us from becoming overwhelmed by the obstacles. It keeps us committed to the path forward. Another important aspect of focusing on the goal is that it cultivates patience and persistence. The road to success is often longer and more winding than we anticipate. The initial excitement of starting a new venture may fade, and the reality of the challenges may set in. However, when we keep the goal at the forefront of our minds, we develop the patience to endure the process. We understand that great achievements take time, and we trust that every small step, even those that feel challenging, brings us closer to the desired outcome. This persistent attitude is what separates those who succeed from those who give up along the way. By focusing on the goal, we also enhance our sense of purpose. Purpose acts as a powerful motivator, especially during times of struggle. When we are deeply connected to the reason behind our efforts, we find the strength to push through the hardest times. The goal itself becomes a source of inspiration, a reminder that the struggle is not in vain, but is an essential part of reaching something greater. This connection to purpose fuels our drive, keeping us engaged and committed, even when the road ahead seems tough. In addition, focusing on the goal creates a sense of achievement that is not tied to immediate results. Success is not just about reaching the end destination, it's about recognizing the progress made along the way. When we focus on the goal, we acknowledge the milestones we achieve in the process, whether they're small victories or incremental improvements. These moments of progress can be motivating, reinforcing the belief that our efforts are moving us in the right direction. By celebrating these victories, we build momentum and maintain our enthusiasm to continue, regardless of how challenging the journey may seem. When we focus on the goal rather than the struggle, we also become better at managing our energy and emotions. The emotional highs and lows that come with challenges can be exhausting if we focus solely on the difficulties. But when we direct our energy toward the goal, we learn to navigate the ups and downs with greater resilience. We become less reactive to temporary setbacks and more focused on staying consistent in our effort. Our emotional state becomes less tied to the outcome of each challenge and more tied to the overall vision of success. Focusing on the goal instead of the struggle is a powerful tool for overcoming adversity and achieving success. It helps us stay motivated, clear-minded, and resilient in the face of challenges. By maintaining a strong connection to the goal, we learn to navigate the difficulties that arise along the way with perseverance and purpose. The struggle may be a part of the journey, but it is not the defining feature. The goal is what propels us forward, and keeping that vision at the forefront of our minds ensures that we remain steadfast no matter what challenges we face. Empowering yourself with action is one of the most effective ways to transform your life. It's the understanding that nothing in life will change unless you are willing to take the necessary steps to create that change. Action is the bridge between desire and achievement, the force that turns your intentions into tangible results. It's easy to get caught in the cycle of planning, dreaming, or waiting for the perfect moment, but nothing compares to the power of taking action. Action forces us out of the realm of possibility and into the realm of reality, where real change happens. When you empower yourself through action, you become the architect of your own destiny. You stop waiting for external circumstances to align and take control of your life. This proactive approach is what sets apart those who succeed from those who remain stuck in the same place. By consistently taking action, even in small ways, you build momentum. Each step you take builds upon the last, creating a positive feedback loop that propels you forward. The more action you take, the more confidence you build, and the more momentum you gain to tackle the next challenge. Action is the antidote to fear and uncertainty. It's common to feel apprehensive about the unknown, but the only way to overcome that fear is to take a step forward. Fear often paralyzes us and keeps us in a state of indecision, but the simple act of doing something, anything, shatters that paralysis. Once you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle whatever comes your way. Action builds courage, because it is through action that we learn we are more resilient than we originally believed. The power of action lies in its ability to provide clarity. We often get overwhelmed by the possibilities and potential outcomes, thinking that we need to have everything figured out before we begin. But action brings clarity. You cannot always predict what will happen when you start, but as you move forward, you begin to see the path more clearly. The feedback you get from taking action helps you adjust your approach, refine your strategies, and course correct when necessary. The more you act, the more you learn about yourself, your goals, and the world around you, which enables you to make more informed decisions in the future. When you empower yourself with action, you also stop being a passive participant in your own life. Life happens whether we take part or not, but when you take action, you become the active creator of your experiences. Every decision you make, every step you take shapes your future. You are no longer waiting for things to happen to you, you are making things happen for you. This shift from a passive to an active mindset is one of the most empowering transformations you can make. It means taking ownership of your life and recognizing that the power to change and grow lies within you. Action also strengthens discipline. The more you act, the more you develop the habit of pushing through discomfort, resistance, or procrastination. It's easy to let the fear of failure or the lure of comfort keep you from moving forward, but when you consistently take action, you build the discipline needed to stay committed to your goals. Discipline is not just about working hard, it's about working consistently, even when motivation wanes. It's about doing what needs to be done regardless of how you feel in the moment. By creating a habit of action, you develop the perseverance to keep moving toward your goals, even when the journey gets tough. One of the most significant benefits of empowering yourself with action is that it creates results. You can plan, dream, and set intentions all you want, but results come from action. Success is the combination of consistent efforts over time. It is through taking action that we test our ideas, adjust our approach, and learn what works and what doesn't. Action creates feedback, and feedback is necessary for improvement. The more you act, the more you refine your process, and the closer you get to your desired outcome. Even small actions over time compound to create significant progress. Taking action also gives you a sense of control. In a world that is often unpredictable and chaotic, action reminds us that we have agency over our own lives. While we cannot control every external factor, we have the ability to control how we respond to challenges and how we pursue our goals. By taking purposeful action, you reclaim control over your circumstances. It's empowering to realize that no matter the situation, you have the ability to choose your response and shape your future. Action connects us to our purpose. It's one thing to have a vision, but it's another to act on it. Every time you take action, you move one step closer to fulfilling your mission in life. Action aligns your daily choices with your long-term purpose, making your actions meaningful and intentional. It helps you stay grounded in your values, reminding you of why you are doing what you're doing in the first place. Each action reinforces your commitment to your goals, strengthening your sense of purpose and helping you stay on course even when things get tough. Empowering yourself with action also encourages growth. No matter how big or small, every step you take pushes you beyond your comfort zone and helps you develop new skills and perspectives. Each new experience, even if it results in failure, contributes to your growth as a person. You learn what you're capable of, discover your strengths, and gain new insights into yourself and the world around you. Through action, you continuously evolve, becoming more adaptable, resourceful, and capable. At its core, empowering yourself with action is about making the decision to move forward, regardless of the challenges you may face. It's about choosing progress over perfection, understanding that the act of doing is what leads to growth and success. Action requires courage, discipline, and commitment, but it is through these efforts that you create the life you envision. When you empower yourself with action, you take control of your destiny, build momentum toward your goals, and begin to live the life you truly desire. Empowering yourself with action is the key to unlocking your full potential and transforming your life. It is through action that you break free from the confines of doubt, fear, and inaction. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to your goals, builds your confidence, and creates the results you desire. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right circumstances. Take action now. Action is the catalyst for change, the force that turns your dreams into reality, and the bridge that connects your intentions to your achievements. So take charge of your life, step boldly into the unknown, and let your actions speak louder than your words. Empower yourself today, because the future you desire is waiting on the other side of the actions you take now.